in some mechanism, the universe is warning you through your subconscious mind that you are headed for disaster.
We learn about life through questions.
Then is everybody intuitive?
Isn't that restricting the growth?
How do you find that balance?
Is it a verb like work to do?
How do we progress and work on that?
To answer some of these, Mr. Pratibimb Charitable, founder of Pratibimb Charitable Trust, brings to you Face to Face. This week we are talking about intuition.
So many times we experience where we feel that I knew this would happen. I had this gut feeling. So like our body has 5 senses, there is a sense of soul called intuition. What really is intuition?
Husband and wife.
How does that relate?
Husband keeps talking, wife is not paying attention. Wife keeps talking, husband is not paying attention.
Okay.
So we generally don't pay attention to our intuition. Essentially because we are not trained to connect with our intuition. Intuition is that inner voice that keeps talking to us. It is a sort of a built-in warning signal or an alert mechanism. But we are never trained to pay attention to that inner voice talking to us. And I have a very nice example which happened with me quite often. I used to work in a place where I had to reach by train. So I used to catch a local from a railway station where the fast train wouldn't stop. And for those of you who are not familiar with the concept of slow train and fast train, because this is typical Mumbai colloquial terminology. Fast train is a train that doesn't stop at all platforms and it skips some, therefore it reaches the destination faster. A slow train is the one which stops at all stations. So I had to essentially catch a train at a slow station and then change it at the next junction where I would get a fast train, obviously to reach the destination faster. Many times I used to get an inner signal that today don't change, continue in the same train. But the intelligent mind is always intelligent.
Overruling.
Yeah. So I used to always say, oh, this is nonsense, let me go by the fast train, and I would change over. And invariably, I would see the slow train overtaking the fast train because it has stopped at some signal, and the slow train would reach the destination before the fast train. And I used to curse myself that I should have paid attention to that signal that I got when I was boarding the slow train. And this didn't happen just once or twice. This happened quite often, and every time I ignored the inner voice, which made me wonder, why am I ignoring this inner voice? I mean, what makes me ignore this inner voice? And the culprit is our thinking mind, the so-called intelligent mind, the so-called cultivated mind, the conscious mind, the awareness mind. So it is our awareness mind or the conscious mind which we have a lot of faith in and which we seem to favor whenever we are confronted with a situation where there is a conflict between our thinking mind and that inner voice. In technical parlance, it is the battle between the conscious and the subconscious. In literature language, you can say it is the battle between the brain and the heart. There is a conflict between the brain and the heart. Well, this is just one stark example because it happened repeatedly. But on other occasions, I have noticed that whenever I have not paid attention to that inner voice, I have always lost.
Okay.
The inner voice is a mechanism which gives you an alert signal what is to be done when your intelligent voice is telling you exactly the opposite. And whenever I have paid more attention to my intelligence, because I always think I am intelligent, I have been at a loss.
But here, how do you differentiate between, is it a fear which is stopping you from, everybody experiences this at some point of time where your inner voice says, no, don't do this. I mean, it's an instant, kind of a feeling you get from within. But then you reason with yourself, are you getting scared? Is that why you are saying no to yourself? And then your intelligent mind takes over and it says, of course you can do it. So just do it. So then this conflict, how do you How do you decide, really is it your inner voice or is it a fear?
Your whole narrative itself gives the answer. Instantly I got a signal and then I am now thinking, is it fear? I am thinking, so I am questioning. Now thinking is a pure function of the conscious mind, which in a human organism occupies only 1/10 of the total mind. 90% of your total mind is the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Only 10% is your thinking mind, logical mind, reasoning mind, deciding mind, commanding mind. Your brain is telling you do this, your heart is telling you don't do this. Your heart is the subconscious mind, 90% of the mind, which is largely in contact with the universal mind. Now this is a concept which people will struggle to understand. When I say universal mind, the whole universe which is surrounding us is a bank of knowledge.
Okay.
It has knowledge about everything in this world or in this universe. In some mechanism, the universe is warning you through your subconscious mind that you are headed for disaster.
Okay.
But your intelligent mind, which is a small component of your mind, is telling you otherwise. I am intelligent. I know what is right. I know what is wrong. So actually it is a battle between you, a tiny individual with a tiny conscious mind, versus the universe. It's like somebody is watching from above, seeing a train coming. You are on a bend and you can't see the train coming, and you are merrily on your path, that somebody is telling you, hey, train is coming, get off the track.
Get off the track. Okay. Okay, this is now answering the question that was already running through my mind, that how does the inner voice come to know, where does it come to know from that there's trouble? So now this has already answered my question, that is the universal mind which is guiding the inner voice and telling you, warning you. Okay.
Now, caution here, there will be a huge debate, what is universal mind?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's take a very small example. Like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. You have available to you 26 letters of the alphabet. Your choice, what words to form, how to arrange the words, what sentence to make, how many sentences in a paragraph, what kind of literature or poetry you want to write, your choice. Same ABCD is available to me. But what sentences I create, what literature or poetry I create will not match yours. So this bank that is available to you is the universal mind. The processing that is done is your brain or my brain. My mind does a different processing, your mind does a different processing, much the same way as you and I use ABCD. ABCD is a limited resource, only 26 letters in the alphabet. Universal mind is a huge resource. You open any cupboard and take whatever you want. You choose to ignore all the cupboards and you stick to the cupboard of your conscious mind, your intelligence, your sense of logic, and you have ignored what the universe is offering you.
Okay. So I'll share one episode that I have also experienced. In fact, very many episodes, but I'll share this particular one. I remember we had this house which was a ground floor place, and I was out drying clothes on a wire outside the house in the campus that was there. While I was drying those clothes, I had this feeling from inside, I shouldn't be drying them here. They're going to be robbed or somebody's going to take them away. But I defied. I said, I think this is just a fear. And I put all the clothes there for drying, and I went in and I was doing my work. That's where we used to live. And sure enough, after 2 hours when I come out, there was nothing there. It was all stolen. And I got goosebumps. Even now I'm getting goosebumps when I remember that, because I said, God, I had this feeling. Somebody was telling me that don't do this, and I still did it. And I lost 2-3 of my saris. And it really, gave me that feeling that why didn't I listen to my inner voice? That is the first experience which kind of made me feel that I think we should listen to this, this instant thing that comes to our mind. But of course, I couldn't relate and I couldn't understand. Now it's becoming pretty clear what you're saying, that there is a connection with the universal mind. But my question again further, then is everybody intuitive?
Yes.
So is it that some people are able to develop that power more than the others?
If you consciously develop, yes.
So you can consciously develop this?
Yes.
How does one do that?
You train yourself. Again, we are talking of the concept of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind.
Okay.
Your subconscious mind is the trainable mind because it's a very obedient mind. Whatever you train your subconscious mind, it will accept.
Okay.
And there is no right and wrong in the concept of the subconscious mind. Whatever the conscious mind tells the subconscious mind, for the subconscious mind that is right. So, how do you train your subconscious mind to be intuitive? By being alert.
Okay.
If you watch, most of our losses, when I say losses, it's not necessarily financial losses. Most of our losses are due to our complacence.
Okay.
Because we have not been alert to the danger signals which were there, but we didn't pick up. Sometimes we defy the danger signals. Yeah, like
Quite
your
often.
example.
Yes.
Yeah, you defied your danger signal, and therefore we suffer the loss. Now, here is a takeaway for everybody. Whenever there is a battle between the brain and the heart, from today onwards, pay attention. Every time your heart wins.
Really?
Every time your heart wins. That's why I'm saying please pay attention from today onwards. Whenever there is a conflict between your brain and heart, every time your heart wins. And most of the time we favor our brain because we think we are intelligent.
So how would you say this capability, does it really help? Other than, of course, giving you these signals of right or wrong, what other ways do you think this intuitive power can
You
help
can be
people?
extremely creative. If you pay attention to the intuition, it's the universe telling you certain things and directions in life. You can avoid mishaps, you can navigate your life safely. So, it's a power available to you. It's like having money in the bank and not knowing where to invest. Look at the artistic people. They are intuitive. Some of the expressions which an artist gives on stage are not conceived by the director.
Yes.
And you will see in interviews, the director say, I never told him
To do that. Yeah.
So, it's an instinctive, intuitive, universal connection to which some people are tuned, some people are not. The degree varies. But intuition is something which you can cultivate by learning. Like, I started being aware from these slow train, fast train incidences that there is an inner voice telling me something. And despite that, I have made mistake. So, though I picked up the signal, I didn't implement it. And then, like you said, oh, I should have heard.
Yeah, I mean, very often it happens. You say, oh, I should have listened to myself. I should have paid attention to this. Okay. Let's listen to our inner voice that is going to help us. Let's not ignore what's coming from within, which is natural, which is a message from the universe. I think it will be for the good for all of us.
If you have some questions about life, please connect with us. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and press the bell icon for weekly updates.